The night was thick with the scent of dust and diesel, the kind of dry summer air that clings to your skin and warns of trouble. Old man Amos was out on the porch, rocking slow, when he caught a flicker in the brush. Most folks would have missed it, but Amos had eyes like a hawk and a night VY sound scope that had seen better days than most men. The man creeping through the shadows didn't know he was being watched. When he pulled out bolt cutters and shot a glance toward the barn, Amos muttered under his breath, "Not on my land. You don't." He flipped on the scope, and that's when the night turned electric. I was sprawled on the couch inside, half dead from the heat, a fan blasting hot air in my face, when Amos tapped the window twice with his ring. Not loud, just sharp enough to pull me upright. I shuffled to the door, barefoot, and found him rocking with a green glow flickering across his weathered face. No words needed, his posture screamed trouble. I stepped out, the wood creaking under my feet, and followed his gaze to the north pasture. "See that?" he asked, not turning. I squinted into the dark, seeing nothing but starlit brush and barbed wire. Then something Mavita shimmer, like a snake slithering through the mesquite. It wasn't a snake. It was a man, all in black, crouched low, MOVYing with the kind of purpose that screams bad intentions. My gut said shout, but Amos raised a hand. "Don't holler. Get the thermal and the sheriff's number. Let him dig his own grave first." I bolted inside, grabbed the second scope from the kitchen counter still charged. Thank God, and the emergency binder we only touched for real problems, like sick cattle or busted fences. By the time I got back, the man was past the feed troughs, close enough to the tool shed for us to make out his clipboard and utility belt. Who sneaks onto a ranch at midnight with a clipboard? I whispered as much. Amos didn't laugh. "That's Victor Slade," he said, voice flat as a gravestone. "From the HOA." It clicked. Slade was the compliance agent from that shiny gated community over the ridge, the one that sprouted up 2 years back with rules thicker than a Bible and a newsletter they treated like gospel. He'd come by once before, all smug in the daylight, whining that our barn's tin roof broke their VY Sewell harmony because it glinted from their hiking trail. "We ain't your neighbors," Amos had told him, plain as day. Slade had spouted some nonsense about county watershed easements, like he had a law degree tucked in his khakis. Amos sent him packing with a warning. Come back with more paper than sense, and he'd need a dentist. Now here he was in the dead of night with bolt cutters. Slade crept deeper, pausing to snap photos of our irrigation rig and scribble on his clipboard. He moved like he knew he was wrong, but thought speed would save him. When he pulled a can of Survey paint and sprayed a marker near the old generator, Amos adjusted his scope. "Landmarker," he growled. "He's claiming our field." It made no sense. Our deed stretched clear past the red cattle gate, older than their McMansion's blueprints. This wasn't a solo act someone was pulling strings, maybe angling for trail rights or a shady land grab. I asked if we should call the sheriff. "Not yet," Amos said. "Let him dance. We'll get it on tape." He grabbed his ancient camcorder, the one he used for Cal VYing season, and started rolling. Slade marked 3 more spots by the hay barrels, the fence post, and a foot from the dog pen. That's when my pulse spiked. Our shepherds were trained to stay quiet until they had reason not to. Right now, they were stalking, eyes glinting in the dark. Slade didn't notice. He stretched a measuring tape, mumbled into a phone mic, and aimed his camera at the barn. Amos had enough. He dialed Sheriff Lena Carter, voice low and direct. "Victor Slade, my ranch, trespassing with survey gear." Lena was 20 minutes out. "Keep him there," she said. Amos hung up, leaned back, and let the rockers squeak fill the silence. "What if he runs?" I whispered. Amos grinned, the kind of grin that belongs in a Clint Eastwood flick. Then I let the bulls out. But Slade was too busy playing Spider-Bolt. He scribbled notes, checked his Finino signal, and froze when he heard a twig snap. He turned toward the porch, and Amos flicked on the light. "Left your HOA badge in the mail, son?" Amos called loud and slow. Slade squinted, caught like a deer in headlights, stammering about jurisdictional re-VYUs. Amos stood, camcorder still rolling. "You're on private land, son. Got your whole dance in green." Slade's voice cracked. "I'm not here to cause harm." Amos stepped off the porch, lemonade in hand. "Good, 'cause if you were, I'd have a rifle instead. Slade backed up, hands shaking, but tried to puff up with legal gibberish. Amos just pointed to the driveway. Let's meet your ride. Red taillights crested the hill Lena's cruiser, silent as death. Slade spun to run, then froze. A low bellow echoed from the pasture, hooves thumping like war drums. The bulls weren't loose, but they were awake, sniffing the air. Slade's clipboard hit the dirt as he stumbled, yelling, "Is that safe? You can't just release livestock." Amos didn't blink, just kept filming, hat brim hiding his eyes. Slade bolted for the fence, slipped on dry grass, and went down hard. He scrambled up, tripped over a hose, and flailed like the ranch was a minefield. The man was no cowboy. Lena rolled up, no sirens, just gravel crunching. She stepped out, flashlight blinding Slade. "Victor Slade?" she asked, already knowing. He nodded, babbling about trail compliance and community rights. Lena cut him off. "No easement, no credence, just trespassing, landmarking, and tampering with AG infrastructure. That clipboard's another charge." Slade's face crumpled. "I was under orders." Amos stepped forward. "Whose orders, son?" Slade clammed up. "Confidential business." Lena bagged his spray can. "Not anymore." Cuffs clicked, and Slade's last-ditch threat, "The HOA has attorneys," got a dry chuckle from Amos. "Good. They'll need him." By morning, the ranch buzzed with fallout. 3 HOA suits showed up in a white SUV, clutching binders and fake smiles. Amos sat on the porch, camcorder in hand, while I recorded on my phone. Their leader, a tall guy with a bad tie, claimed Slade acted alone, scouting public access zones. Amos raised an eyebrow. "So he forged your approval? Want that on record." They squirmed, offered to sit down, but we weren't budging. They left a glossy folder of legal fluff, which Amos filed under HOA Lies, Volume 2. 2 days later, Lena's report hit the county board. A local reporter snagged it, running a headline: "HOA agent caught sneaking on ranch with night gear." The camcorder still of Slade, glowing green and guilty, went VY-RAL. Leaked emails showed the HOA board knew about his surveys, even pushed them. Slade got fired, banned from county HOAs for a decade. Other ranchers came forward. One caught Slade planting fake fence flags. Another found illegal drone footage. The judge froze the HOA's expansion and ordered a charter re-VYEW. Their violation letters stopped cold. A week later, the HOA sent a letter offering DULA $500 and a community award if we dropped legal action. Amos taped it to the chicken coop for the hens to laugh at. We sent back one word: declined. Lena dug deeper, uncovering a pattern: drones, fake fines, tampered irrigation. Ranchers banded together, calling ourselves the Barbed Wire League, and filed a lawsuit that made the HOA sweat. They tried apologies, then cash, but no money could erase their attempt to steamroll our history. The new HOA president, a frazzled ex-dentist, begged for a meeting. We sent a flash drive with the footage and a note: "This is how we handle trespassers." The drone stopped. The trail walkers vanished. The air wasn't just quiet, it was respectful. They didn't like us, but they knew we weren't MOVYing. One July night, Amos and I sat on the porch, scopes by our side, lemonade cold, dogs at our feet. A truck passed the trail, but didn't slow. Amos chuckled. "Never liked that camcorder. Too fancy." I grinned, tossing it. He shook his head, mounting it to the rail. "Shoulder forward. Maybe a plaque. Smile for the HOA." I laughed. "Think they'll try again?" He leaned back, staring at the glowing fields. "Maybe, but this ranch don't forget a face." The land stretched out, unbothered, hours. But the story begs questions. Was Slade a rogue or a pawn? Should Amos have let the bulls loose to teach a harder lesson? Is the HOA's defeat final, or are they plotting round 2? And what would you do if someone snuck onto your land at midnight? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories where the little guy fights back and wins.